Let's talk. I saw something the other day on social media that, to say it, to explain this, is going to make me sound really, really airheaded. And thinking about it, I'm really airheaded. But I have not seen this question asked in quite a while on my social media feed. Someone posted, and they went to the event page in Facebook to say this. And they said, "What is this event this weekend? What's happening here?" Now, this is remarkable for two reasons. Sorry, it was bugging me. This is remarkable for two reasons. One is that it reminds us of how many new members we have. And to put that statement differently, it reminds us of what fraction of our active membership right now are still very new compared to the standards and averages we had 5 years ago. And the other thing that it reminds us of is how much herd knowledge really has kind of gotten shaken loose, and I don't want to say forgotten, but shaken up by the entire pandemic lockdown. That was not a question you would have heard in 2019 or 2018. It's not a question that would have been posted because so many people were talking about upcoming events so thoroughly that the odds were just you as any random individual should very likely bump into someone who's already discussing a lot of this just as part of normal conversation. And now the dynamics have changed. First of all, we have a much larger number of new members. We have, conversely, a smaller number of experienced members who know these things. So again, just ratios and statistics, if you want to break it down that way. We are more virtual. We have much more, a much stronger online presence, which does translate to many people to fewer in-person interactions. And that's less of a chance to have the type of conversations we would have in 2016 or 2012 or 1997 when I joined. And because of that, the end result, this is all a great big convoluted way of saying, we have people who honestly are coming up on events, know nothing about the event. And so they're asking, and there are two takeaways from this that I need you specifically, you, to take away from this. If you are an experienced member and you are someone who has been playing for a while and does know what this event is coming up, whether it is my event or another event in your area or whatever, this is a good point to remind you should consider talking more about these upcoming events. Be proactive. Post on your personal feed or on social media, the group page, or in email or your blog, whatever your primary means is to interact with people in the virtual space. And say, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing everyone showing up to this event. I know there's going to be some fighting, or there's going to be some arts and sciences, or, just kind of talk about it and engage about it and say, in case anyone didn't know, this is what it is. I know there's some people out there that probably haven't been, or this might be your first time going to this particular event. Be proactive, reach out. Don't assume, like I have, like a lot of people have, just this week, that a overwhelming majority of people or everyone knows what this event is. They may not. And they may still need to or want to learn something more about it to help them enjoy it more. Now, let's turn this question around. You who've never been to this event, I am the last person to put the onus on the individual saying you need to go learn more, you need to ask the questions, because I really do feel strongly in my heart that it is the responsibility of the knowledgeable to proactively present information. I feel like new members or newer members should not have to shoulder the majority of the responsibility to ask all the questions. I do feel like it should be the responsibility of us to make information available so that someone can quietly and passively attend a class or follow the feed and learn. But that being said, responsibility is one thing. Does that mean you as an individual should not ask questions? No. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to encourage you to do exactly the opposite. That person who asked that question, my only criticism of the situation, not of them, but of the situation, is that it wasn't a more kingdom facing feed, because I believe it was the kingdom, I think it was the event feed, if I remember correctly. I really wish they had asked that question on, say, our Kingdom Facebook feed, just to get more coverage so more people could see it. What I'm trying to say is that, yes, you need to ask these questions. And I'm not saying that from a standpoint of only events that you think you're going to, only events that you want to go to. I think there's an argument to be made that you benefit from learning about any event that is on the calendar, even if you're not going to it. We have an event called Laurel's Prize Tournament. I've never been. Right now, I don't have any reason to go. Chances are, with my viewership, most of the people who watch this video will not be going to Laurel's Prize Tournament. Just partially because many of you are outside of my own kingdom, and some of you are not arts and sciences inclined, and it's not in your budget to go. But that doesn't mean that you can't know a little bit about the event, how it's run, what it does, what it accomplishes, what awards or championships are decided there. That is the type of knowledge that even if you never go, even if you never want to go, you could be a valuable resource to someone else who they may be interested in going. And if you can say, I've never gone, but I'm aware that they do this, 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 and here's how they do it, and here's what's going on. And that other person may decide, oh, that sounds like a great event. Or they may go, no, that doesn't sound like me. And they save their money and go invest their time and energy and what resources they have into some other part of the SCA. Information is, generally speaking, always good. At the end of the day, there are two takeaways here to recap all of this. One, we should never assume that even a majority, let alone everyone, knows what this event coming up is. That's a pitfall we could get away with 5 years ago. We can't now. We need to be verbose and descriptive, talking about events for the benefit of people who don't know what they don't know, or may be too anxious or reserved to ask the question. Those are all very real possibilities. And for those of you who don't know and know what you don't know, don't ever hesitate to ask. Even if it's an event, even if you know you're working that weekend, just asking the question, hey, I see there's an event this weekend. What's going on? I'm curious. Just call me nosy. That never hurts the conversation. That's never a detriment to the talking points, because you are adding to the public discourse, you are encouraging the free exchange of ideas and information, and you're creating a space where other people can just read and learn more. These are all good things. These are all very good things. And last but not least, I think the takeaway here for people like me who've been playing for many, many years is the place has been shaken up. There are a lot of assumptions, a lot of defaults that no longer apply, and I got caught flat-footed by this one. This is a teachable moment, because that moment taught me one of my blind spots. If you've been playing a while, start questioning all of your normal assumptions. Does everyone know this? Is this something we've talked about? Is this something that has been explained clearly for new members? And if you're not sure, poke around, find out. There may very well be a market for that knowledge that, frankly, there wasn't 5 years ago. But until next time, I'll see you at the next event. Goodbye, and God bless.